Hey guys, what's up? Rascal Ryan 521 here to bring back a different video for me. But today this is going to be my video on Season 3, Episode 9 of Game of Thrones. This episode is called The Rains of Castamere. If you don't watch Game of Thrones, then probably don't want to watch this video, but I mean, if you want to, you can. But if you're planning on watching Game of Thrones soon, do not watch it, please. Just don't. This is going to be my spoiler review for what many fans know as the Red Wedding. Now, this episode, I knew something was going to happen going in. Okay, because I knew about the Red Wedding. I didn't know who was going to die. But I knew that it was happening. I knew something big was going to happen because I have friends at school that watch it, and I've heard people on YouTube talk about it, and yeah, it's some pretty effed up stuff. So, before we get into that, I have IMDb pulled up on my phone. We're going to go over the other events of the episode before we get to what you guys really want to hear about. Okay, so let's see. The first major... Okay, so let's see. So we have Daenerys and her men. They're planning to take... they're trying to take the town of Yunkai, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Yunkai. Yeah, and that Vala Morghulis, or whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it. The one that was helping out Arya last season. He's helping her out, which is really cool. It's cool to see his character return. We have, let's see, Samuel and Gilly. Yep, that's right. They were... Yep. Okay. So yeah. So we just see a quick shot of them. We just see a quick little snippet of them walking. And Gilly says according to IMDb here, I'll just read this quote for quote. She says her father used to tell her that no wildlings looked upon the wall and lived, but here they are alive. So they're happy, kind of a happy moment for them. One of my favorite other storylines from this episode is the Hound and Arya. I thought that was a funny storyline. They're a cool little duo. Like almost as cool of a duo as Jaime and Brienne of Tarth. I really like those two together. But yeah, the Hound and Arya, I find them funny. He's just this he's just kind of this down to earth guy. I mean, no matter even if she says we're in danger, we're gonna die. He's like, yeah, bring it on. Like he knows he can take them all. He's not in really any rush at all or anything. But yeah, all that stuff was funny. It was kind of sad, the one scene though, where he talks about how yeah, I can't remember what the name yeah, where he makes a really cruel reference to Ned Stark's death. I thought that was pretty mean. And Arya was pretty pissed at him for that. Jon Snow and the Wildlings, that was a great development this episode. I'm really glad he didn't end up killing that the older guy. I'm really glad they didn't end up killing him because I kind of felt bad for him. I mean, it's sad that I think it was Ygritte, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, I believe it was her. She was the one that ended up putting the guy down. It's sad that he died in the first place, but I thought he didn't really deserve what he got. That was cruel, but it's Game of Thrones, and if you think that's cruel, get ready for what we're going to be talking about in a second. Okay, so, and then we got some interesting developments with Bran, of course, too. We got, Bran with, controlling Hodor's mind, Hodor's like, Hodor, he's going crazy with the thunderstorm, and Jon and the Wildlings are right outside the tower. They almost got killed. But when he finds out that he kind of controls Hodor with his mind almost, and I'm not too in depth with the Game of Thrones lore, but I believe what they were implying was that he was the one that was controlling the hawk that came down and attacked Jon Snow, because later in the episode he says, I saw my brother when I was taking over the mind of that hawk or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the one that took over its mind. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm pretty sure. So yeah, like I said, Daenerys taking the city, and now we're gonna get to what this episode is notorious for. So for those of you who don't know the Red Wedding, here I'll explain it. So Robb Stark, he's basically, as you know, the one leading the revolution, the one that's planning to kill King Joffrey. The one that's been trying to take over the kingdom. Basically, he's trying to get the Starks back in power. But basically, he was supposed to marry one of Walder Frey's daughters, which if none of you, if there's any Harry Potter fans out there, Walder Frey is played by the guy that played Argus Filch in Harry Potter, the caretaker dude with the cat. So, that's pretty cool. So he was supposed to marry one of his daughters, one of Walder Frey's daughters, but he ended up falling in love with this medic woman, this one that he met out in battle. and he ended up, falling in love with her. They got married. Well, I'm not sure. I think they got married. I can't remember. I believe there was a wedding ceremony, but I could be wrong. From what I remember, I think there was. So he can't marry one of Walder's daughters. He also gets this medic chick. I believe her name is Talisa. He gets her pregnant. And it's not. I mean, when they get characters get pregnant in the show, it's not like they don't. It's not like a big. It's more of like a blessing in that show rather than in the real world. It's more of a like an oh my god, what are we gonna do thing. In this show, it's more of a blessing, because I mean they're always trying to build up their family's name, and trying to have sons that they someday hope to rule the kingdoms. So she's pregnant with their child. She's pregnant with the baby that they're going to name Eddard Stark, the one you're going to name after Robb's father. Beautiful scene right there. I love that. I just thought that was a nice, heartwarming, nice scene. And it's weird. Walder Frey, you can tell this guy's up to something. Like, 'cause he's being too hospitable. Like, he's being too nice. He's acting all like, oh yeah, I'll even, no. Shut up, Rascal. This is my dog. Yeah, but I mean, he's way too nice. Like, you can tell there's something going on with him. He knows that something's going down. And you, as a viewer, that makes you uncomfortable, because you've learned to care about these characters for 3 seasons now. And so, he's acting all nice, and he's even asking to throw, as long as one of, I believe it was one of, Robb's men is the one that ends up actually marrying one of Walder's daughters. And, after the wedding ceremony ends, they start the bedding ceremony. They leave the hall, and then a bunch of Walder's men, a bunch of, like, his guards, a bunch of, like, Lannister men come into the room. Rascal, hey, stop it. Scratching yourself. Interrupt my video, bro. Okay, and this is where it gets effed up, okay? So if you get disturbed by things easily, do not watch this part of the video. Just don't, please. So this is what happens, and I wasn't ready for this. I really wasn't. This is just effed up. Basically, Walder he teamed up with the Lannisters, and as you know, the Lannisters, the Starks, they don't mix. They don't go together. They hate each other. They absolutely hate each other. So Walder goes, I'm sorry, I haven't been a good host. Let me give the Starks a proper welcome. So, Catelyn, Robb's mom, sees that one of the guards is one of these guys, one of the guards is wearing armor underneath. She's like, oh crap, someone's about to go down. She slaps him in the face, tells Robb to run, but as soon as she does that, one of the guards walks up to Talisa, stabs her in the stomach repeatedly, killing her and the unborn child. Arrows start Dude, really gonna... Oh my god, he's like choking crap in the middle of my... Dude, really? No, he's just licking himself again. Kind of killed my vibe. Yeah, arrows start flying. Arrows hit Robb and Catelyn in the back. They're just like, they fall to the ground. All the guards, like all of the Stark men, just being wiped out. Necks slashed by all these Lannister men. And it's complete chaos. Arya's right outside. She doesn't know what's happening. She sees Robb's direwolf and a couple of other Stark men on the outside area getting killed, and then the Hound comes out, knocks her out, and then kind of carries her away to keep her away from the battle, I suppose. I guess that's probably what was happening. I really like, you can tell the Hound cares about her too, which is one thing I like about his character too, is he's got heart to him too. That's what I like. But then Catelyn and Robb are still alive. Catelyn gets up. First we'll start with Robb gets up, and he goes over to his wife. He realizes she's dead. He's just like, he has got nothing left of him. He's done. He looks sad. He looks like a defeated, broken man. Catelyn grabs Walder's wife, takes a knife up to her throat, and says, "If you do not let my son and I go, I will cut her throat." Emphasis on cut. She was like really, really pissed off in this part. And Walder just says, "I'll find another." And then one guy, probably my favorite line of the episode, one of the Lannister men walks up. He goes up to Robb. He goes, "The Lannisters send their regards." Stabs him right in the chest. While Catelyn, his own mother, is watching. She just screams in horror, slashes Walder's wife's throat, and like she just stands there like barely, like kind of like trying to utter out a scream for like 10 seconds. She's just so in shock. One of the Lannister men walks up, slashes her throat. She falls to the ground, cut to black. No music during the credits, of course. Game of Thrones is really effed up like that. Yeah, no. We're not gonna give you a happy end credit song. No, this is some messed up crap. And you know what? We're gonna end it on an even more disturbing note. No music, nothing to lighten the mood, just silence. And that is the Red Wedding. For those of you that don't know. Now, if anybody here is considering watching Game of Thrones and you're disturbed by this, I would say don't watch it, because me describing these events are not nearly as screwed up, vile, disturbing as they are in the show. I mean, it's messed up, man. Oh my god. I mean, you care about these characters for so long, and they just wipe them out like this. Like, George R. R. Martin, you dog. I mean, no offense to him. I haven't read the books yet, but I'm sure he's a great author. I'm gonna read the books. I got the first one for my birthday, as you saw. But this was so messed up. Like, I knew the Red Wedding was coming, but I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know the characters involved. I didn't know who was gonna die. It's just like, and I mean, they stab a pregnant woman in the stomach repeatedly. I mean, that was like, oh my god. And I don't get people that are saying, you know, like, there's some people, I know I'm, like, doing this review, like, 2 years late. Oh, voice crack. I know I'm doing this review, like, 2 years late. But I'm just got into the show recently, so that's why. Like, 2 months ago I started watching it. There's people, like, I was watching videos, like, reviews of them, some YouTubers I know that have done reviews of the episode, and they were saying, like, they're never going to watch the show again, or whatever. They don't want to watch it. Some of them were saying they don't want to watch the show again, you know, because it feels, you know, almost like they killed the characters off, they built them up for nothing. Well, it's like, that's the thing about Game of Thrones, though. I mean, just because your favorite character dies doesn't mean you stop watching. I mean, you stay along for the ride. I mean, I don't get why some people think that way. It had the exact opposite effect on me. It just made me want to see the new episode even more. Like, honestly, guys, perfect episode of Game of Thrones. I thought it was amazing. I will admit the stuff with Bran was a little slow, maybe just because I'm not a huge fan of Bran's character. But I like the stuff with Jon Snow. That stuff's starting to pick up, at least where I'm at right now. Let's see. I really hope to see Brienne of Tarth and Jaime Lannister in the next few episodes. I'm starting to like him a little bit more. He's become a cooler character. Oh god. Oh, and Arya and the Hound. I really want to see. I really want to see Arya's reaction when she finds out that Robb and Catelyn are dead. I mean, she's gonna be heartbroken, man. That's gonna be a really sad scene. But yeah, like I said, overall, perfect episode. I love this one. Probably my favorite episode of Game of Thrones so far. Although I really did like the episode called I believe it was "And Now His Watch Has Ended." The one where Daenerys completely she takes over. The one where she gets the Unsullied. She lets one of her dragons set the one guy on fire, and then, you know, she frees the slaves, and then she, you know, the Unsullied, and then she tells them, you know, you can be free and walk away, or you can fight with me, and they all decide to stick with her. She gained their trust. I just thought that was a really cool episode. That was a really nice tactic. But yeah, other than that, I have nothing else to really say. So if you like this episode and you saw it, comment down below what your reaction to this was. I thought about doing a reaction video because I was pretty sure, I heard it was coming up in this episode, but I watched the show with my dad in the room, and he would have known that if I was filming my reaction, that he would have known something's up, and he doesn't like me to spoil. He doesn't like it when shows get spoiled for him. So, you know, I don't want to be a jerk about it or anything, but yeah, I figured reaction videos, some of those are kind of boring anyway, because literally with me, I don't have like, oh my god, I'm not like that kind of reaction person. I'm literally just like one of those people that's just like, you know, they have their hand to their mouth, and they're just like doing this, like, oh my god, like, you know, like just kind of like sitting in horror like that. I'm not really one of those, like, one of those spazzing out people. No, I literally just like, I was literally just sit there going like, oh my god, I cannot believe what's happening right now. Like, yeah, I didn't have a great the reaction video would have been boring, but overall, you guys, I love this episode. I thought it was amazing. Perfect way, I think, seems like episode 9 of all the seasons have just been, it seems like that's just a trend Game of Thrones goes by, and it's a great trend, and, you know, gets really jacked up for the finale. But yeah, I cannot wait to see what happens next in the show. If you want to see more TV show or movie reviews from you guys, from me, just let me know. My dad and I watch we call Friday nights our movie nights. We watch a movie every night. Sometimes an old one, sometimes a new one from Netflix. It all depends, you know, on what we want to watch that night. But yeah, if you want to see more movie reviews, just let me know. More movie, TV show reviews. I can do an updated review of Too Far Gone. I can do a review of my favorite episode of Sons of Anarchy. Not Papa's Goods. That was his finale. Red Rose. I could do a review of my favorite episode of Firefly, which would probably be Out of Gas, I think it's called. I already did a review of Game of Thrones. I don't really have a favorite of Better Call Saul. We're only like 10 episodes into that one. I'll probably wait a little bit before I do that. Breaking Bad, Ozymandias, I could definitely do. I love that show. Favorite show of all time. But as always, thank you for watching, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, and tell me what you think of the episode down in the comments. The Lannisters send their regards.